Alright, so the fruits of my obsessed garage sale got me my new TV. And so I've been torn on this thing for a while. Do I get a projector? Do I relocate all of my equipment? I'll show you what I'm talking about as we do this install, and I revamp the home theater a little bit. But I'm trying to answer the question, do I do a new projector, go with a giant screen? Of course, it's more immersive than a TV, but then deal with the fact that it won't look as good. You know, so which process do I do, or which do I choose? And so I got online after the garage sale. I was gonna do something, and I was, you know, my butt was puckering about spending $7,000 on a TV. And then there was I wasn't even searching like for a sale. There was a flash sale on Newegg, and so I had LG77C8, which is what I was gonna buy, on for $4,700. Of course, I was a little skeptical of that price. But now I bought the TV. I still may do a projector at some point, but for now, we're gonna be doing the 77-inch OLED to replace the 65, was this the 65E6, I believe? The 77, obviously 12 inches diagonally bigger. So I'm gonna pull this off the wall. This TV is gonna go in my room in the house, and I'm gonna get rid of my Panasonic plasma. And so that's what we're gonna do. But what I was thinking of doing was getting rid of this thing, doing like a 120-inch screen, moving the equipment to the room behind here, and doing like an equipment rack. You know, so taking all that stuff and putting it over there. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put the larger display here, and then I'm going to be doing some other revamping, like changing my subwoofers and things like that. So I'll be sharing that as we go through this process. But for right now, I'm going to install the TV and check out the rest of the series as I change the lights in here. It's very yellow. I'm going to change some of the acoustic treatments, get rid of the fan, the overhead fan that I put in here that I never use, and then do 4 subwoofers instead of the 2 that I have. So I'm going to pull this off the wall, and we'll see what we have to do with the bracket. Clearly I'm going to have to move it up because the TV's bigger, but we'll see when I get the measurements. Alright, so TV's off the wall. Clearly I'm going to have to move this bracket. Alright, so here's our bigger bracket. It's going to go there, but it's going to have to go up, likely. So we'll measure, we're going to get this in place. We're going to measure this and see. So what I'm using is a Sanus, pretty standard. I like the really low profile ones. This is the LT11 or LL11B1, so it's really super slim. I mean, I don't want the thing sticking off the wall, and I'm never going to tilt it, so we're going to get this set up. Right, now these are universal, so we just need to figure out which ones fit the holes. But it's fascinating how much is going on with this darn thing, and how little is required to mount it. There's our HDMI connections. Everything should be very similar to my other set that was here. Alright, so here's our setup. 2 screws, that's it. Nice and easy. Alright, so I had to move it up a little bit because we don't want the string hanging below. And I took a level, because there's some play, just took a level to each side and then torqued it down. And that should hold it into place. Okay. Now what we need to do, we're going to put the bracket in place, and then we're going to take a measurement from where the base of the TV is to where the bottom of the bracket is, and then that'll help us set our height on the wall. So our height on my stand is 31 3/4. That's the height of the stand from the floor. And then our height from the bottom of the TV to the bottom of the bracket is 18.5. And so we're going to take that dimension plus that dimension, so that puts us 50.5. And then I'm going to round up 1.5 inches for a little bit of a gap between here and the bottom of the TV and my stand. And so that gives me, what did I say, 52. So this is currently at 49.25, so we have to take this bracket off anyway. So we're going to come up a few inches. So the bottom of the bracket will be at 52, and then that'll get our TV at the proper height. All right, so we totally lucked out. Our 52 line lined up, so the holes lined up with the top holes from the previous TV. So we're just going to sync the lags. All right, we're up a few minutes later. So now we're going to clear off this thing, lift the TV up, see where we're at. All right, I had a huge scare. There was a big divot right in the middle of the TV, a big bubble. Well, you couldn't tell that there was a cellophane on it. So what I'm doing is we have it leaned so that the stand is a kickstand, or the bracket. So I marked where my optical cable comes out. I have to cut a hole in the wall because I have to notch out the wall because there's not enough room on the slim bracket to fit. All right, so now I got all kinds of janky holes, but you'll never see this. So that's the hole where I'd cut before. This time I cut a bigger hole. We only have two connections. One is HDMI for WebOS, which really I don't use anymore because the Apple TV 4K. Because WebOS, at least on the previous gen, doesn't do Dolby Atmos out. And then our HDMI one. These are both from a company called Blue Jeans Cables. All right, we're all cleaned up back there. Why does that look? Well, you're about to find out. No, it scares me every time that we mount the TV too low. And I have to take it all back off and redo it.
You can tell from here it's going to be.
All right, so inch and a half. Yep.
Ain't much.
So wiring is pretty decent. I'm going to plug one thing back in. This all tucks up against the wall. All right, there we go. I should have done a before and after picture. I knew I forgot something considerably bigger. That's for sure. So we're going to turn it on and see how it looks. I'm sure somebody's going to say it's crooked. Alright, I know everybody's going to yell at me if I don't show you what it looks like on. So there you go. Hopefully I won't get copyrighted. There's my Marantz AV8802A Samsung Blu-ray player. I don't really play Blu-rays all that much anymore. A couple of Sunfire Theater Grands and then my Rebel Performa 3s. But yeah, it looks awesome. A lot bigger. I'll probably get a projector still someday. But yeah, looks good. I'm sure to you it looks small, but in person it's pretty significant. This stand is massive. People always want to hear and see a TV and speakers on video. It doesn't make any sense. You're going to listen to it in your headphones or computer speakers or whatever, so it doesn't really make any sense to play it, but that's what it looks like on. Looks good. I'm sure some people are going to be yelling about it being too small, but whatever. This is as big as we got in a TV and a direct-to-view display right now. So, all right, stay-at-home project today. So I, did the TV yesterday. So I guess we'll see how this goes. I may be continuing a video or starting a new video here. So depending on how this goes. But what I'm going to work on today is I have these J-Box lights that are junk. I've got an adequate amount of light. They're quote high CRI rated, but they're junk. The quality of light in here is terrible, and I think a lot of people are misled by the specifications that are provided on lighting. There's many different, I think there's 12 different spectrums. Don't quote me on this, but there's more than just the picking the highest number and calling that CRI. There's no spec that companies have to adhere to. It's like pressure washers, where they just tell you what the pressure, the max pressure is and the max flow is, instead of giving you the accurate average pressure. So we want average CRI. So I bought some new lights. We're going to try those, see how those work out. And I'm also increasing the color temperature from 2700 Kelvin to 3000 Kelvin, and we'll see what that looks like. And then I'm going to be adding a new acoustic panel here. So I'm taking the fan out that I never use, and I'm going to be putting a new acoustic panel in place of that, which I just happen to have an extra one because you had to order in pairs. I needed to order a new one because my air conditioner leaked all over this one here when it failed. The other thing I'm considering, again, I'm going to get rid of or take the JTR sub out of here, I just talked to an audio engineer for several hours. Jeff, I found him online, and we talked for hours about how to set this room up better and getting rid of the massive woofer. He's not a big fan of rear subwoofers, so what I may do, I'm going to build another one, and I'm going to try doing 2 before I go to 4. I don't know, you know, I tend to do overkill and then back off. He had a much smarter recommendation, which was to do 2, see how it goes, and then adjust from there. Alright, so here's the J-Box style lights that I'm going to try. Hopefully these are better suited. This is the 3000 Kelvin version in white, so we'll see if these are better than the lights that I have in here. Alright, so here's what it looks like. This is the one, the current one. So just take the 2 screws out and pull that out, and we'll see what this looks like. Alright, so here's the new J-Box version. We'll see. So it looks like quite a bit better light dispersion versus this that has a single couple of chips. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna try it out, see how it does. Alright, I made a giant mess for a very little payoff. I just put some panel to cover up the fan. I'll fix that in a minute. But I'm gonna be putting the acoustic panel over that anyway. So just a little less yellow. Certainly wasn't worth the payoff. I wish I'd gone to 3500 Kelvin, but a little less yellow in here. So I'm going to do the other cloud here in the middle. So that's the hard part. All right, many hours after I started today, I'm done. Everything's clean. So I've got all the drywall dust all cleaned up from the floor and the couch. We got a new light, which is now 3000K. It's quite a bit less yellow in here. These are also much more dimmable. The others only dimmed down to maybe 50% and then turned off. So we look better there. And I may actually be doing a new Panasonic Blu-ray player, and the new they have a new higher end version. I think it's, I forget what was, like UDP 89 or something like that. I'm making up that model number, and then might be switching this out to a Yamaha, the AV8802A. So the TV looks great. And then I finished, let me show you this here. So I finished removal of the fan, and then I went and did the extra gray cloud, we call this. So these are cloud brackets, which help aid acoustically. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line, so even though I'm dealing with this speaker in the cabinet, it's not ideal. I'm going to actually line the inside of the cabinet. That will clean it up a little bit, make it a little less echoey, which I haven't noticed any issue anyway. So that's the next update on the home theater project. I'll be doing another update for you when I build the second sub and then put them in here, and then we'll see if we do the third and fourth sub in the rear of the room. So anyway, thanks for watching this one, and the garage sale got me my new TV, and I'm cheaping out on my 2 homemade subwoofers. Then we have a nice little home theater update. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor,